Hello, this is Paper Cuts Included coming to live from the Ninja Turtle sleeping blanket, and that's how I know it's legit. Today is going to be a mix between an Under the Microscope and a pickup video. What I mean by that is I got a lot of this book, the Puma Blues, at a comic book store probably about a month ago at this point, and I wanted to do a full pickup video, but then I actually read it and I really liked what I read, so I wanted to talk about it under a technical aspect. If this is your first ever Paper Cuts Included video, this is a YouTube channel where we talk about comic books, comic book art, art in general. We talk about artists under a technical aspect. It is ran by me and my two co-hosts, whom are all working artists in the field, and we like to talk about what we love, that being comic books. So to prove that I'm an artist, I'm going to show off one of my pieces real quick that I'm working on. It is a Tomb King from the Warhammer games. I'm beginning into lat lore, or back into lat lore, so I wanted to practice with some new Posca markers I got. I've never used Posca markers, so I've been trying to practice with it. And this piece is nowhere near done yet, so don't comment down below, oh my god, it sucks, you need to do this, you need to do that. I know, I'm still working on it, and hopefully I'll get this done by Friday of next week. But no, if you like my art, if you want to see more, or for some reason you want a t-shirt or a sticker of it, you can go to my Instagram to look at all my artwork. DM me if you want a commission, or if you want to buy a piece of mine. You can direct message me. All my stuff should be for sale. Or if you want a t-shirt, sticker, mug, you can go to my TeePublic page where you can buy those t-shirts, those mugs, those stickers. And this is just me paying the bills. All the artwork I sell just goes back into the channel. It lets me buy some more pricey books. Because as an art student, I don't have really that big of a budget for, let's say, some really nice art editions of like Dark Knight or that Batman Year One that's like $200 right now. So that's me paying the bills. So now with that out of the way, let's talk about the book. We are going to be looking at the Puma Blues, specifically issue 1, but I'm going to show off the other stuff I bought. That's why I say it's half Under the Microscope, half pickup. And so I've had this specific copy for maybe a year at this point. I found this one at a game exchange, but the rest I got at this store that I went to about a month ago. So I was able to get a second printing of Puma Blues number 1. The other one I just showed is a first printing, but this is a second printing. And I think the colors are a little bit different. Like, I think they're brighter on the first printing versus the second printing, or like the earthy tones are brighter, but barely. It's not really big of a difference, but you can see the deer's lighter there than it is on that deer, excuse me. So I don't know. I just like looking at stuff like that. I could look at them for 2 hours straight and just be like, ooh, that's a little different. Ooh, that's a little different. But no, I was able to get a second printing of issue 1, issue number 2. Really cool covers, depressing covers at time, but really cool covers. My favorite covers so far being issue 3, pretty cool Puma with an American flag. I think that's pretty cool. I could see like a blacklight poster of that. Issue number 4. Another really cool cover, issue number 7. Then we got number 12. Number 13. Number 14. And then the last one, number 22. I believe Puma Blues ran for 24 to 27 issues. That's going to kill me now that I can't remember. The first 5 issues I've read have been very interesting, a little depressing at times though. It is like a Grant Morrison book. You read it in segments. Don't go all in, because I think I'd get burned out, which I haven't read it in a week, so maybe this weekend I'll read another 6 or another 10. But this book was created by Stephen Murphy and Zullis. They are a interesting pair. Zully is actually an artist who I read very early on in my comic book reading. He is either the first or the second Ninja Turtle story I ever read, and this is tomorrow's video. It is Zully's Ninja Turtle book, which, if we compare the artwork, it's pretty evident that they're the same guy. Um, the first Ninja Turtle book I ever owned was Return to New York. That's why I'm conflicted on which one I read first. But I know I read Zully's run very early on. I know I read it online, so I might have read it before Return to New York. So who knows? Zully might be the first Ninja Turtle book I ever read. I know I was super confused when I read it because he's making the turtles look like this, and the story's really crazy. And as you know, before that, I was just used to like the 2012 cartoon, and it was just, oh, so this is adult turtles, because I always heard that the comic is so much more dark and adult than the cartoon, and they were right for a lot of it, especially the Zully run. So there's some of my personal experience with Zully, but let's get to more of Puma Blues. Puma Blues was printed by Aardvark International, the same company that brought you Cerebus, that we did a video on very early on this channel. The first and the second printing only have a print run of 10,000 each, I believe. So a very small printed book. Like, what, that's like a small town population, and they're, printing, they're trying to get it sent to America, Canada, and the UK. So 10,000 books for 3 markets. I don't know how that works, but don't sound like a lot, Jimmy. But no, it's very straightforward. There's not even an ad on the back or anything. It's just a black blank back cover, which I feel like super rare in comics. There's always something going on the back cover, but not with Puma Blues. So no, let's flip her open. We got some blue notes, and I will say each of the issues starts with a little piece of artwork like this by Zully, and I'm very curious to see how it transforms to the end of the book from the beginning. And it has mixes of nature mixing with some sort of trash or humankind. They're mixing with each other. Like here we see a dead, I don't know what kind of skull that is. It's an herbivore. I'm going to guess maybe a deer skull mixed with some, those pliers, or what do you call it? Some tool. I don't think they're pliers, but maybe they, I don't know. And some sort of maybe oil, maybe blood. The whole book's in black and white. So if you don't like black and white books, which I don't know why, they're just as good as colored. Um, you know, Puma Blues might not be for you, but hey, get over that. Black and white's just as good as colored. So let's get her on open. So here we get to see our very stylized and very intricate Zully artwork. Oh no, don't twist that. No! Just trying to fix the camera. There we go. But no, Zully's very intricate artwork. It is, you know, how do I describe it? It's good and it sticks with you. It is something that I don't think is going to be very easy for people to recreate or try to do, and it's stunning what he can do in black and white. And I'm sure there was maybe never thought to do this book in color. Zully does incredible black and white. That's how the Ninja Turtle story is too. It's in black and white. So he busts his chops on black and white stuff. He's really good at it. But we get to see our first main character, who is it? Gavia? We're gonna call him Gavia. Is our main character's name, and he's a little shady. It starts with him walking the streets, talking about how he's going to therapy. His dad's died. He didn't really know it, and he meets a homeless person, wants a song, and how does he get him to sing? He gets the pliers that we see right here and pulls the guy's ear, and I guess a song to him is him just screaming. So what a way to introduce our main character, is have him abusing this poor homeless guy. That hasn't been resolved in the first 6 issues. We don't really know why he did it. This is a flashback. This is uh, 1 month, 3 years ago from when the main book takes place. So that's a pretty big time jump. So here we go. Now we start seeing a song, and we get one of the coolest things that Zully does in this book is drawing flying manatees, or devilfish as they call it in the book, and it's super cool looking. I wouldn't think to have a character be a flying devilfish, but yet it's very cool. This is a very I need a T-shirt of this right there. That's super cool. And what's this, devilfish doing besides flying around? Well, wait and see. Very great forest. It's hard to draw a forest sometimes, and yet he does it. Also, subtle use of drawing clouds up there. That looks really good too. And what happens? He does it show it in the previous panel? Yes, the manatee's coming to probably eat this dead little. Do you call it a fawn? A dead little baby deer, a fawn, or is that's a horse? And that ah, a dead deer. We'll just say that a dead deer, and then we flip the page, and our main character shoots the manatee, or not manatee, the man. Just to call it devilfish, the devilfish, and then we get our title, the Puma Blues, Chapter 1. And he calls it his first kill, but yet this gun somehow, like, that he uses Ghostbusters, the devilfish, and atomizes it and sends it to a lab in China. And here we get our Puma, which is a character that has been in the first 6 issues, and just Puma does Puma things. So far, he hasn't done anything weird besides be a puma, but yet I bet he has something integral to do with the story. And really good landscape drawings. That's going to be a thing with this book, is me just talking about how good the landscapes are in the Puma Blues. They're amazing. The characters are drawn amazing. The shading's amazing. Like, this is probably one of the best black and white books you can look at in today's world. You know? Let's keep looking. Uh, yeah. Is the Puma going to attack Gava? We're just going to call him Gava. Nope, he just takes the dead baby deer and, takes it away. We see him eating it, doing some Puma things. And now we go to Gavia's base of operations. It turns out that he's a soldier in the army, and he's living at this is a wildlife reserve, and his first objective is to find those devilfish, and his second is to monitor the water levels in the lake or river and to make sure it's healthy. So he's pretty much a glorified park ranger without having to deal with people. A very intricate way to do a room. Just all that black and white artwork, and he does really cool things. He does cinder blocks to be on shelves. We're seeing how kind of, if you notice that, you're probably not having a nice house if you're using cinder blocks as shelves. So playing up Gavia's um, personality is, we're building up on a dingy, dark apartment, with boxes everywhere, shoes on the floor, magazines, and Iggy Pop magazine. Iggy Pop will come up later, interesting enough. I wonder if Iggy Pop's ever read Puma Blues. So now we see Gavia watching TV in a really well done way to do TV, with all making like these rounded panels with really good line work in it. And it really does sell the fact that he's watching TV, in my opinion. Maybe take inspiration from this artwork to do your TV scenes if one of your characters is watching a TV. Don't overthink it, but don't undermine it. Like, I think if you remove Gavia, you might not realize he's watching TV, you know. But having him in the foreground with this nice little white bear or white, cutout really sells in my opinion, and it's really good. So take, if you I think you should take inspiration from every book you look at. Take one thing from every book and maybe try to implement in your artwork. Don't curb it, or don't steal it. Always give props to who you're taking inspiration from, but take inspiration. Note what works, what doesn't, and just build off your artwork. Comic books, if you have a collection of 100 books, you have a resource of 100 books. You have 100 books you can look at, you study. It takes 1,000 hours of studying to get better, but I promise you, once you do, you're gonna get better. There's my takeaway from today. Study, study, study. And now we get some really good like nighttime scenes where we can clearly tell it's night. It's dark. There's barely any detail. Sometimes some black and white artists really struggle on how to make it a black and white book, but not Zully. He does really, really good, in my opinion, of doing some good night scenes. We're not seeing the details of the house really when he's walking out. We're not seeing the face details really. It's dark, it's pitch black. You're in a forest reserve. There's not going to be illuminating lights everywhere. So I think he really sells that. Pretty cool typography. Typography in this book doesn't break the bank, but I think it's still really good. I think it's shattered by the amazing black and white artwork and just the figure artwork. I think Zully draws great figures. He might be one of my favorite figure drawers, and what I mean by that is just drawing the human body. He's really good at it, and if you're struggling with that, take some inspiration from this book or study it, because you're not going to draw it as good as Zully straight out the gate, but you can take some inspirations from him. So he's going up to the roof to fix his solar panel, and now he's thinking of some things he might not should be thinking about. He does do good drawing that figure, though. That female figure. Draws good drawing the female figure. But no, just that face is so good. And it reminds me of Constantine. John Constantine from DC. I don't know if Gavia likes, Hellblazer, but to me, they look a lot alike. But no, still really good black and white scenes. Let's keep going. Some highlights from Puma Blues. It is a environmental book. It deals with a lot of issues of the environment, of humans encroaching, of um, poor ideologies, overbearing ideologies. So if you want a wordy book, Puma Blues might not be for you. There's a lot of exposition at the beginning, but my co-host who's finished it says it kind of lays off around the middle mark. So if this is a book that you don't want to read a lot into, you just want a straightforward Superman punches the Hulk, this isn't for you. But if you want a book where you're gonna feel sad and it's gonna make you rethink of that can you threw in the trash can rather than the recycling can, read Puma Blues. I really like Puma Blues. The artwork's great, and let's keep looking at it. Really good 9-page or 9-panel page, or one, or I guess 12, but the classic 3 panels, which is usually 9, so that's why I call it that. Where we get to see the Puma, a monitor, and Gavia just doing something, and this is an amazing panel right there. And some people are like, why are you spending so much time on this panel? That face and the foreshortening and just the expression is so good. I bet Zully had to study at some university doing figure drawings. I bet he is an amazing figure artist, but besides him showing that here, but I'm sure he could be as much of a classical artist as he could be a comic book artist. So I need to do a deep dive on him, a deep dive on Zully artwork. And really good planes too. Planes are so hard for me to draw. They always look stupid when I draw them. So I always give kudos to people who can draw planes really good. And good Puma too. I wonder I wonder if you went to a zoo and just looked at a Puma, or how did he come, how did he draw the Puma in all these different angles? Because I don't think he's just doing that from his own toolbox. But I don't know. He draws Gavia really good, so maybe he can just draw Pumas really good. Good, yeah, typography right there. The how it gets big, small, and then big, big again, like sounds happening. Kind of like how an airplane does sound. So now we get to see who Gavia works for. First, an AI program that wakes him up, and then his boss. And they're discussing that the plane is doing its yearly liming to help the lake, and the Puma is that close to Gavia, but yet they don't meet in this. But that's got to be some metamorphic or metaphor. Man, I've been watching Godzilla too much. Metamorphical, metaphor. Gosh, some metaphor, it being that close and Gavia not realizing. But no, this is, I think his colonel. I'm just gonna call her the colonel. Um, but no, she just lets him know that you get the day off. And so what's he do with that? He calls his mom. Yep, he calls his mom, or his mom calls him. So then him and his mom get to talk. We see the Puma just right outside with the lime coming down. And there's some end of issue exposition talking about how he needs to, watch some of his dad's tapes. His dad, we have established, died at the beginning of the issue, but now we're learning that he was an intellectual of sorts and he filmed tapes. The tapes, which will be sometimes whole issues of Gavia just watching them. But we're getting to the end of this issue, but let's just, take another moment to see how good of a figure drawist Zully is. I feel like that's Zully's big takeaway from this book, is he is an amazing figure drawer. He can draw the human figure like there is no tomorrow. So really look at this if you want to draw figures better, and doing it really good in black and white too. I want to see his sketchbook. I want to see the originals. I'm sure he must have had models. So I would love to see a little Puma Blues art edition with stuff on how he did it. But no, that's it. Or no, ooh, I almost skipped a page. And now we get some of some exposition of New York Times kind of text. This is probably the quietest issue for the next 6 issues, because the next 6 issues, we're watching Dad's tapes, we're learning what's happening to the world. Weird parallels between this book and our real world, environmentally, terrorist attacks, stuff like that, and it's really wordy. Like I said, if you don't like books where they just talk about stuff, this book might not be for you. But it is very good. I like it a lot, and I can't wait to see where this book goes. And to end it, we get another really good, little piece of art with a radiation sign and then a tape that with Puma tracks going around it, or I assume Puma tracks. And then at the end of the issue, like in every issues, we get notes on the environment with them talking about the Puma in this issue. Okay, so Puma is a cougar, mountain lion, and a catamount. I've never heard of a catamount. Let me know if that's what you call a puma. I always thought they were all different things, but like regional. Like a puma is this, a mountain lion lives in caves. So hey, now I know. Thanks, Zully. And that's the first issue of Puma Blues. Hopefully I sold it. I feel like I went through this a little bit faster than I should have, so I'm gonna just talk for a little bit. The artwork's insane. If, like I said, if you're looking for a really good artist who draws the figure, if you're a classical artist and you want to get into comic books, Puma Blues is, I think, a really good book to look at. Use that figure drawing class talents, like Zully did. Put your pen skills to use, like Zully did. You don't have to just, do some superhero book. You can do some interesting stuff like the Puma Blues. Why is there flying devilfish? Why is there a gun that can atomize devilfish? Why are we sending those to China? There is stuff in this book that will intrigue you. It'll be stuff that you're like, why is this happening? Well, let me read the next issue and maybe they'll tell you. Like, I think the Puma Blues does a really good job of selling issues. I don't think it was that successful, unfortunately. I don't really know, but I've never heard of it, and I bet out of 100 people, maybe one person's heard of it. But I think it's really cool. And like I said, I will, keep you in the loop, maybe with some community post on how that's going. If you like community posts and if I should do more, comment down below. Also, if you've made it to the end of this video and you like this, like, comment, subscribe. This really helps the channel grow. We've been doing really good. That Ronin video I released Friday is our second most watched video of all time, and that is awesome. I put a lot of work into that Ronin video, so it's super amazing to see it perform really well. And I I can't thank anyone but you guys. I didn't do anything, but you guys put the work in. You guys watched it. You guys commented on it. You guys liked it, and that means a lot to me. So thank you. Um, you know, comment whatever you want. Comment what you like. What's your favorite Zully book? I only know this and his Turtle Run. I don't know what else he's done, but if there's some more stuff, I really want to see it. So let me know what your favorite Zully book is. Let me know if there's anything I could do better, if the audio's weird, or if I should spend more time on pages, or if I should talk about my art more. Let me know. So that was today's video. Like I said, tomorrow we're gonna be looking at Zully's Ninja Turtle, the first issue of his Ninja Turtle book. Maybe we'll do a Turtle Thursday kind of thing for the next 3 weeks, where we look at Zully's turtles. And then Friday, we're going to be doing another Miller Friday, where we look at Ronin #2. And I think me and my co-host Dylan Dog from the Let's Chat About Comics video are going to be doing another video really soon, which will be awesome. I've missed doing a video with him. That is, I think, our highest viewed video. It has like 43 views, which is awesome. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I guess I'm gonna send you on some marching orders, and I'm out of here. Make more art.